Did you know there's a substance capable of stealing your health, your mind, and even your life, all while offering a false sense of power and happiness? Yes, we're talking about cocaine. A drug that may seem harmless at first glance, but in reality hides one of the greatest threats to human mental and emotional health. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into this topic, uncover the impact cocaine has on the mind, and understand why it's so devastating. And listen, it might seem like something far removed from your life, but you'll be surprised to find out how close this reality might actually be. What you're about to hear could save lives. So stay with me until the end, because this is a serious and urgent issue that deserves your full attention. Cocaine is a powerful and highly addictive drug. At first, it might seem like an escape route, a way to numb emotional pain or even to feel more alert. But the price of that temporary relief is far too high. What may begin as curiosity or peer pressure can quickly evolve into a cycle of addiction that destroys not only mental health but also relationships, careers, and even a person's sense of identity. We're going to explore the stages of this process, from the initial use to the devastating impact it has on the mind, the body, and the soul. If you think this doesn't affect you, it's important to remember that the social consequences of addiction reach entire families and society as a whole. That's why I urge you to stay with us and share this video. You never know who might need to hear this. Cocaine is a central nervous system stimulant extracted from the coca leaf, a plant native to South America. Though it has been used for centuries in rituals and even for medicinal purposes in the past, today it is synonymous with destruction and dependence. When used, it causes an intense feeling of euphoria, boosts energy and confidence. That's why, at first, it can appear to be a magic solution for emotional struggles or even for enhancing performance. What many don't realize is that this substance acts like a ticking time bomb in the brain, disrupting its natural processes. Moreover, cocaine appears in different forms on the market, including crack, which is even more destructive and more easily accessible. The real issue isn't just what cocaine does in the moment it's consumed, but the long-term damage it leaves behind in the brain and body. The answer to why people turn to cocaine is complex and varies from person to person. Some seek it out as a way to escape emotional pain, others believe it will help them perform better socially or professionally. Often, it begins recreationally, at parties or casual gatherings, without the person truly understanding the risks involved. Group pressure and the normalization of drug use in some social circles also play a major role in the beginning of this path. But addiction is deceptive. That initial feeling of euphoria is so intense that the brain craves more and more until control is lost. The key point here is that no one starts thinking they're going to become addicted. But the drug tricks the brain, deceives the individual, and creates a cycle of consumption that's extremely hard to break. And that's when the cycle of destruction begins, silently, gradually, and dangerously. Cocaine directly interferes with the brain's neurotransmitters, especially dopamine, the chemical responsible for feelings of pleasure. The problem is that continuous use causes the brain to stop producing dopamine naturally, leaving the person dependent on the drug to feel any sense of well-being. This leads to severe damage to mental health. Anxiety attacks, panic episodes, paranoia, and even hallucinations are common. In more serious cases, the brain begins to show signs of premature aging, losing essential cognitive functions such as memory and concentration. What's more, these chemical changes make the user increasingly vulnerable to disorders like depression and even psychosis. In the long term, chronic use can lead to permanent mental health conditions, such as drug-induced schizophrenia. It's a dangerous game, one where the brain is always on the losing side. In addition to the devastating effects on the mind, cocaine also wreaks havoc on the body. The heart is one of the organs most affected. Constant use increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and blood pressure issues. Many young users begin to show heart problems that would normally only appear in much older individuals. The respiratory system also suffers, especially when the drug is snorted. Frequent nosebleeds, difficulty breathing, and infections are just the beginning. And the damage doesn't stop there. Nasal ulcers, liver issues, infections, and even a weakened immune system can occur. On top of that, the physical impact becomes visible: extreme weight loss, aged skin, and damaged teeth. Cocaine doesn't just destroy from the inside, it leaves clear, often irreversible marks on the outside too. Chemical dependency doesn't just affect the user, it affects everyone around them. Relationships are torn apart by distrust, impulsive behavior, and often, violence that can result from drug use. Parents lose connection with their children, marriages break down, and friendships fall apart. Moreover, the shame and social stigma surrounding cocaine use further isolate the person, pulling them away from healthy social environments. The drug creates a cycle of isolation, where the user feels trapped, and those around them often don't know how to help. What begins as an individual issue quickly becomes a shared pain, one that tears families apart and leaves lasting emotional scars. Another common consequence is the financial damage caused by addiction. Users often drain family savings, lose their jobs, or fall into debt to maintain their habit. This leads to ongoing tension and conflict, which can eventually break households and relationships apart. The user may begin to avoid family gatherings or social events for fear of being questioned about their behavior, creating even more emotional distance. And the effects go beyond the immediate circle. Colleagues, friends, and even neighbors can feel the instability brought about by drug use. Rebuilding these relationships after starting treatment is possible, but it requires time, patience, and often professional support. It's important to remember that genuine love and support are crucial to helping someone break free from this cycle. Yes, there is treatment, and it's essential for breaking the cycle of addiction. Recovery, however, requires more than just willpower. It demands professional support, which may include therapy, medication, and participation in support groups. Many users feel alone on this journey, but it's important to reinforce that help is available, and it can transform lives. One of the biggest obstacles is the stigma that prevents people from seeking treatment for fear of being judged. But recovery is possible, even in the most severe cases. The treatment process begins with acknowledging the problem. That might sound simple, but many people deny their dependency, making those first steps harder to take. Once that stage is reached, the support of psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists becomes crucial. There are also therapeutic communities and specialized clinics that offer safe environments for rehabilitation. Medical follow-up is essential, as the body and brain often need help to recover from the damage caused by the drug. It's also important to understand that recovery isn't a straight line. Relapses can happen, but that doesn't mean the treatment has failed. Every attempt to stop is a step forward in the direction of a life free from addiction. Another key aspect is emotional support from family and friends, who must be ready to offer encouragement while also setting healthy boundaries. Looking for information about the resources available in your area can make a huge difference on the road to recovery. If you know someone who's struggling with cocaine use, the first thing you can do is offer support, without judgment. People who use drugs often feel ashamed or guilty, and the fear of being condemned can push them further away from help. Talk to them, show that you care, and encourage them to seek treatment. Be prepared to listen and offer practical help, like accompanying them to appointments or researching clinics and professionals. Also, remember to take care of yourself, because helping someone in this situation can be emotionally exhausting. Another important point: avoid direct confrontation. Confronting someone aggressively or accusing them usually increases their resistance to acknowledging the problem. Try to have calm conversations, at the right moments, where you can show genuine concern and offer real pathways to change. Sometimes, just feeling heard can already be a powerful motivation for transformation. If possible, seek help from professionals who specialize in family intervention. They can help create a safer and more welcoming environment for the person to accept treatment. It's also vital to remember that, no matter how much you want to help, the decision to change must come from the person themselves. Forcing help can be counterproductive. Lastly, consider joining support groups designed for families of people struggling with substance dependency. These groups offer practical guidance and emotional support to help you cope with the impact of addiction on your own life. Never underestimate the importance of looking after your own well-being while helping someone through this challenging journey. Hope does exist, and your attitude can make all the difference. Cocaine is a silent enemy. It enters people's lives promising pleasure and freedom, but delivers pain and imprisonment instead. If you're facing this battle, or if someone you care about is, know that there is hope. Recovery is possible, and every step taken towards mental and emotional healing is a true victory. Don't ignore the signs. Don't underestimate the risks. And above all, don't give up. Your life, or the life of someone you love, is worth far more than any fleeting sensation. Before you go, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And there's more. The video that's on your screen right now will help you even further on this journey. Click it, and keep learning. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.